Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. Summary: Catch-22 is a satirical novel by Joseph Heller, published in 1961, that explores the absurdity of war, bureaucracy, and the struggles of individuals trapped within a senseless system. Set during World War II on the fictional island of Penosa in the Mediterranean, the novel follows Captain John Yossarian, a U.S. Army bombardier who is desperately trying to stay alive amid the chaos of endless combat missions. Through dark humor, paradoxes, and satire, Heller explores themes of survival, sanity, and the twisted logic of bureaucracy that defines the famous Catch-22. Plot summary. 1. Yossarian's struggle to survive. The novel opens with Yossarian, a bombardier in the U.S. Army Air Forces, stationed on Penosa, trying to navigate the endless, illogical cycles of war and survival. Yossarian has become increasingly paranoid about his survival, fearing that everyone is trying to kill him, especially since the number of required combat missions keeps increasing due to the orders of Colonel Cathcart. Determined to escape the relentless cycle, Yossarian decides he wants out of the war, even if it means faking insanity or finding a loophole. 2. The logic of Catch-22. Yossarian soon realizes that he is trapped by the illogical Catch-22. Any soldier who is insane may be grounded, but the act of requesting to be grounded is proof of sanity, since only a sane person would fear the dangers of combat missions. Thus, if Yossarian wants to be grounded, he is deemed sane and therefore unfit for discharge. This paradox becomes emblematic of the entire system in which the soldiers are caught, forcing them to continue flying dangerous missions without any escape. 3. Bureaucracy, profit, and the characters of Penosa. Heller introduces a wide range of colorful characters, each dealing with the war's absurdity in different ways. Milo Minderbinder, the squadron's mess officer, exemplifies capitalist excess, turning war profiteering into an art. Milo builds a black market syndicate that supplies both sides of the war for profit, claiming everyone has a share in his enterprise, thus justifying actions as morally and financially beneficial for all. Meanwhile, other characters, such as Major, face the absurdity of bureaucracy and struggle with their hollow roles within the military structure. 4. Tragic losses and Yossarian's growing disillusionment. Yossarian's growing list of friends and comrades lost to the war deepens his sense of disillusionment and despair. Netley, a young, idealistic soldier, falls in love with a prostitute in Rome, only to be killed in a mission, leaving Yossarian heartbroken. The death of Snowden, a young gunner who dies in Yossarian's arms during a bombing mission, serves as a turning point for Yossarian, revealing the horrors of mortality and reinforcing his desire to escape. Snowden's last words, "The spirit gone, man is garbage," haunt Yossarian and underscore the futility and degradation of life under the war's relentless cruelty. 5. Rebellion and confrontation with authority. As Yossarian's frustration with the war grows, he begins to openly resist the system. He refuses to fly more missions, leading to conflict with Colonel Cathcart and the military authorities who view his actions as dangerous to their image. The military brass offer him a deal: he can go home if he promotes their version of events, falsely endorsing the war and its merits. Though tempting, Yossarian realizes that accepting the deal would betray the memory of his fallen comrades, and he chooses to remain loyal to the truth rather than perpetuate the lie. 6. Yossarian's escape and choosing freedom. In the end, Yossarian decides to desert the army rather than comply with the absurd system. Inspired by Orr, his friend who managed to escape to neutral Sweden, Yossarian decides to flee and pursue his own freedom. He realizes that true sanity can only be found by removing himself from the madness of the military. The novel concludes with Yossarian's hopeful departure, as he makes his way toward personal freedom and liberation from the Catch-22 that has ensnared him. Key themes. 1. Absurdity of war and bureaucracy. The novel critiques the pointless, repetitive cycles of bureaucracy that often characterize military life and government institutions. The Catch-22 rule epitomizes the irrationality of such systems, which trap individuals within paradoxical, inescapable situations. 2. Sanity versus insanity. Heller explores the fine line between sanity and insanity, suggesting that what is often deemed insane might actually be a sane response to an insane world. Yossarian's desire to survive makes him seem crazy in the eyes of the military but represents a rational response to the irrationality around him. 3. Survival and individual morality. Yossarian's journey is a moral struggle for survival within a world that disregards individual lives. He repeatedly chooses self-preservation and ultimately escapes, embracing a personal morality that values life over blind obedience to authority. 4. Critique of capitalism and exploitation. Through Milo Minderbinder's War Profiteering, Heller critiques capitalism's tendency to exploit people and moral principles for profit, even in a setting where lives are at stake. Milo's justification for his actions, claiming everyone has a share, reveals the hollow morality behind his capitalist logic. Conclusion. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller is a darkly comedic, satirical exploration of the madness of war, the absurdity of bureaucracy, and the resilience of individual will. Through Yossarian's journey to break free from the catch-22 that binds him, Heller portrays the struggle between personal freedom and institutional control, challenging readers to question the structures that govern society and the paradoxes that often define our world. The novel remains a powerful critique of both war and the systems that perpetuate its injustices, highlighting the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming absurdity.